Conversations in Kung Fu by Emanuel Tareem. A picture, a word, a room, a category, a poem. He felt completely woozy, physically uneasy. The door opened. The light of her smile flooded his thoughts. I like you very much, laughed a gentle heart breaking. A tree, a battery, a refinery. The arc of his thoughts spanned, shooting arrows, the entire world. They landed in emptiness. He stepped through the door. A dream, fantasy. He stepped backward again into the room. I like you very much, whispered, softly rippling, her hair. A rooster crowed. Were there roosters where he lived? On the nature of the garbage man. A number, a thought, stranger from space. Every thought feels like a barrier, he heard Bob Marley cheerfully sing, because it gets me nowhere. Oh, now. It must have been the garbage truck, rumbling, Monday morning style, past his window with a limp. Oh, now. Oh, now. A staircase, a bench, Muay Thai. Bruce Lee was still smiling in the doorway, the glaring headlights of the garbage truck behind him. Hadn't he seen this in a film? Stranger from space? Oh, now. Oh, now. You know, form is content. Content is ground meat. Since when had Bruce Lee become his former German teacher, Ms. Stubborn Washing? She resembled a scene from his childhood that glided like a shadow across the walls of the dimly lit room. He perceived her through half-closed eyelids and knew he mustn't step on her, under any circumstances. Internal logic. Fashing. You wore pajamas and suspiciously resembled a clown, said Mrs. Lee, the strangely Asian-looking wife of his fourth-grade German teacher. Finally, I get to meet you. I imagined you completely differently, he said delightedly and didn't know why. Oh, now. Oh, now, he sang drunkenly and poked Mrs. Lee playfully in the side. My husband, Bruce Lee, Kung Fu. He attributed this unusual sentence to her poor German skills, but thought he understood. Content is emptiness. Emptiness is form. He dutifully recited the haiku he'd picked up in a bad Chucky Chan movie they'd once watched in German class. Note from the author, you, when you were 7 or 8, don't you remember? In any case, he took a large step back from her, performing an exaggeratedly gentlemanly gesture with his right hand. The door. Oh, God. He'd almost fallen backward through it, into the abyss. He jerked violently, although he hadn't fallen at all. She laughed heartily. I like you, Bob, and gently stroked his once curly hair, which had now given way to receding hairlines across every part of his head. Oh, now. Oh, now, she whispered sensually into his ear. Mrs. Lee, daughter of his sports teacher Bruce? And God, she looked like it too. He glanced at his watch and noticed he wasn't wearing one. Strange. Cuckoo? Cuckoo? Wall clock. Hand. Rachel. Instead of the time, this strange thought sequence. He had no complaints. Apparently, he didn't need logic or an address here. Regulations, Mrs. Lee corrected sharply. Her reproachful tone reminded him of something, besides the fact that it filled his pyramid-shaped loins with a certain tension. Horses? Yes, there was something. Horses. She pronounced the word with great precision and exaggerated emphasis, as if caricaturing Bruce Lee while dancing. Why-you? Who was wildly gesturing in the background, apparently trying to tell him something. They seemed to take it all with humor, which he had to respect. This is all very interesting, he said. No, I said. Don't you mean? He thought. Right. Apologies. He. I got completely confused with grammatical dramatic conventions, narrative threads and characters, film or dream sequences, depending on the viewpoint of the currently absent witnesses in the room. Ah, it dawned on me again. A look. A percent ampersand slash equals. A room. No. The thread had been irreparably torn. The inner turmoil, as a friend would have wheezed in between chuckles, and likely actually wished he'd done at that moment. Perhaps the only one who might have wanted to lead him out of this interim space, this strange abstraction or category, hovering somewhere between a flow of writing and an other world, romantic ballad and thriller. These scene changes, these choppily flowing transitions, strong sun-bronzed garbage man arms, academic run-on sentences, fight scenes, wordplay, and musical ensemble. Was he possibly existing in a Buffy the Little Vampire episode? It had to be so. The camera work made it unmistakably clear. Could this be the entire purpose of his existence? To roll unbearable philosophical refinements in this even more unbearable state, and fantasize schmaltzy poems about hyperbolic 6239246s? He, in any case, wanted to wake up as quickly and painlessly as possible, like Keanu Reeves Fresh Market, who drove away Mara's hordes under the Bodhi tree through a demonstration of apathy. And reggae was the sound that underscored everything, like the ever self-referential voice of reason itself. Overpainting? Well, at least slightly less obtrusively. Oh now, oh now, cuckoo, wall clock, all cups on deck. I have here a wonderfully comfortable toilet, on which you're welcome to rust for a while, said a slick voice whose origin he couldn't pinpoint. He surmised, however, that it descended from neoliberal parents. Just relax. Finish writing at your leisure. This toilet seat is completely comfortable for months on end. Flawless. Very chic, so to speak. Time passes differently in this place. We made sure of that. So you wouldn't get into trouble out there with the enormous, seemingly inexhaustible size of your creative output. Take your time, and in a year or two, when you've successfully finished your fabulous creative session, which is flowing so well at the moment, your beloved will surely come with the long-awaited roll of toilet paper, as if nothing had happened. That's something at least, I thought as I enthusiastically jotted down everything the voice continued to muse in technical explanations. I'll turn this into a first-class script. Hollywood will undoubtedly snatch it from me personally. Right. So, ciao. Oh now, sang the treacherous beast Uyulala as it bid farewell. For with that rhyme, it had finally revealed its true identity. My God, I shuddered. What had I gotten myself into? Mrs. Fashing? Bruce Lee? I cried in a panic-stricken fit of manic help-seeking. I had just been overtaken by an especially vile form of paranoid hypersensitivity, clinging desperately to anything that promised even a shred of security. Bruce Lee? Had it all been a trap? Everything? From the start? The garbage truck outside the window, as if by chance. Mrs. Lee pressing her newest koans onto my lips, from whom I knew perfectly well that she couldn't possibly be Japanese. Thank God that occurred to me just in time. The uncannily precise intonation of hooved escape animals, supposedly all to improve my German skills? It was all just a facade, one giant conspiracy. As always happened to me, I really started to get scared. Would I now have to remain forever on this, admittedly quite comfortable, toilet seat? To amuse some kind of demonic primal force by writing highly intellectual Bavarian operettas like this one? Would the other kids from the neighborhood now, henceforth and forever, refer to me with insults like toilet seat monkey or closet phobe? Just as he was about to break into a cold sweat of fear, he noticed to his unspeakable relief a gentle shake on his shoulder. Through sleepy eyelids, he gazed into the slightly amused, slightly disgusted face of his beloved, who had just woken him up. In her hand, she held a freshly spackled roll of toilet paper. She shook her head in disbelief. "Did you fall asleep on the toilet again?" "I called you 1,000 times, damn it." He heard himself stammer incoherently and angrily, and he sharply sent her back out the door. "For God's sake, don't you see? I'm busy. Out." The end.